What is up, guys? Tony here with Geek Legion Games, and today we're here to talk about an undefeated Gaiomon Deck Profile that I piloted last Friday. Well, I should say this Friday in the making of this video. Very powerful deck. I asked Lance, how his Gaiamon's been working. He says it's kind of inconsistent sometimes here and there, and in some cases it is. But as of Friday, I've went undefeated with this deck. Very powerful combo you can do here with the X Antibody or Omnimon selection here. And yeah, it's just almost free games. The only thing that almost stopped me from winning is Sorai. The card is, a real pain in the butt. But other than that, like, this deck can just, cut through any deck like butter. But before we talk about any of that, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Don't check out our pro site at www.geeklegiongames.com for your Digimon singles, Magic the Gathering, and Pokemon. Without further ado, let's just get with the deck profile. So we got our Coromons right here. Probably the best egg you want to run in here is just hit that extra 1000 DP boost right here. You can run Coromon eggs if you want. The other Coromons that draw you cards if you want to. So you can do a 3-2 split or have 3 of the draw and 2 for this for later on. But that 1000 really does help out in the meta. Speaking of more DP boosts, we got the Agumon right here, the promo one. It gives you Greymons plus 2000. Do keep in mind, once you go in your Omnimons, you will lose this buff. So just keep that in mind. More buffs right here. This one actually counts for Omnimon for all turns and a Greymon in name, so that's also really helpful if we give our Omnimons blocker. But it has a really sweet on-play. Look at the top 4 cards you deck. You can pull a Greymon or an Omnimon from among them and get your Tamer ties. Running just the Black Tamer, so this gives us the blocker and plus 1000. We're just running those. We don't need the red one here because we do have a lot of aggression with this Greymon right here. And lastly, for Agumon eggs, I am running 12. I usually do run 13, but deck space is really tight, and I had to cut the 13 out, but it did help out. Agumon X Antibody, you can Digivolve on top of Agumon for 0 on play for 3. Real top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with Greymon Omnimon in its name, and the X Antibody option from among them, and put the rest at the bottom. Very nice. The Greymon, security plus 1 Greymons here, we need this at 3. I last night played this at 2, and while making this deck profile now, I am upping this to 1 more because it actually is pretty good to get that aggression early as possible, because we can swing 3 checks max, go into your new Gaiomon, the EX4-1 to trash security, so that's essentially 4 checks right there, right? And then you just swing, go Omnimon for game, so we're definitely, we want to see this a little bit more, so I did add an additional copy of this. 2 copies of our EX1 Greymon, 1 attack, and you can play out our ties for free. So you get that, and that extra 1000 DP boost if you really need to. If we could swing into something for raid with our level 5 Metal Greymon, we can definitely tack that in. Like, it'd be something for 7000. Let's say we don't have any of these inheritables here to give us plus 1000, but we do have the egg right here. But we need that 1 extra one. We go ahead and just pop a tie down, and then this one can actually carry on with us. Lastly, for our Greymons, before we get to our X Antibody Greymons, we have the Wind Digivolve. If you don't have a Tamer or tie in its name, you can play this out for free. The Tamer out for free. I'm only playing this because of the inheritable, because it's really nice having this one and this one in the same time. It's giving it plus 2000 all turns. But this card can definitely just be cut out, and it could be the plus 2000 Greymon. You can evo it for 1, get a cost reduction. I may end up doing that, but as of right now, I do like the static all turns 1000 here. X Antibody Greymon, just running 3 copies of this guy here. All turns of this Digimon and Greymon Omnimon would be deleted by an effect or return to hand or deck. You can go ahead and trash 2 sources of the same level to prevent it leaving the field. Alteress does the exact same thing, but we'll talk about it's when Digivolving once we get there. And then we have our 1 of Greymon, because this Greymon is broken as all get out. All because of this, when your Digimon went Digivolve with Greymon in its name, reduced the cost by 1 for each of its colors. Going forward to your level 5s, unless it's just you going right to Altarius here, it's going to reduce cost by 2. So these would be Digivolve for 2. The reason why it got completely nerfed down to 1, because this would Evo for 1, because it Evos 3 on top of level 4. And this one down here also Evo for 2. And same thing with this one, it Evo for 2. But yeah, and then this turns all turns effect. This only happens if you have the X Antibody option, so keep that in mind. If you do have this and you don't have Altarius, you're gonna need to have one of these in hand to slot under to get that, leave play or get killed by an option for that to go off. Up next, we got 2 copies of this Metal Greymon for BT8. Has it when Digivolving, D-Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. Very powerful. Not a lot of people are expecting D-Digivolving now, so when they're going their stack, like, yeah, it's fine, whatever, you go ahead and D-Digivolve it. Completely ruins their whole game plan. And then you can go ahead and delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3,000 or less. It's just fine. You can Digivolve a big stack and blow up a rookie on the field. It's completely fine. We do have the your turn here. If you have Dragonkin or Machine Edge trades, you can also attack unsuspended Digimon, which is basically our Gaiomons right here. They're going to be the only ones swinging. If you do happen to go up in your Omnimons right here and want to swing into an unsuspended Digimon, you will lose it because it is a Holy Warrior Royal Knight, so you won't be able to do that. However, if you are like into your Gaiomon right here, you can swing into an unsuspended Digimon, have X antibody, go into this Omnimon right here. You can do that. That's completely fine, but there's no reason really to do that. Up next, we got the new Metal Greymon for BT12. It's got a raid mechanic. You can go ahead and swing to security and also redirect it to one of your opponent's Digimon with the highest DP. If you do that, you'll trigger the all turns effect here. This also happens to your opponent too. So if your opponent, like swings at you, you go ahead and block. You can go ahead and pop a tamer down for free. It is only going to be the black ties because that's the only tamers we have. Other than that, we have our cool boys, so you won't be able to proc anything else. I'll make sure. Yeah, we're not running Yuyas. So it's just going to be the black ties. But you also get that effect too on your turn. And then we have that nice piercing inheritable right here, which takes away the use of Metal Greymon for EX1 because this is just infinitely better. Then we have Altarius right here. Same all turns effect with this Greymon right here, so we're not going to read this, but we will read the when Digivolving effect. It does Digivolve 0 on top of Metal Greymon. So if you have this Metal Greymon here, you can go into this for free for 0. Do keep in mind you cannot tap your Cool Boys for this because it's not an X antibody. It still count as just a Metal Greymon. So when Digivolving, as long as you have a Tamer in play, you can delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 or less. Very nice. So go ahead and Digivolve some. They're like 5k or lower. You can go ahead and just Digivolve this for free and then just delete the whole stack afterwards. It's really, really nice. And then probably our best Metal Greymon in the actual deck here is this X antibody Metal Greymon. Digivolve 1 from a Metal Greymon. Attending your opponent's turn, this Digimon can't have his DP reduced or be Digivolved. So if you by any chance going against a mirror match, Machine Dramon, if it's still out there, Shine Greymon for effect cannot touch your whole stack here because that whole deck is all based around DP reductions. Once you go into this, there's nothing that deck can do to you for a whole turn. And you can delete one of your opponent's Digimon if this Digivolve is on top of Metal Greymon for 6,000 or less. It's also very, very powerful. But obviously, like, other than just playing with this, very, very powerful and heritable here. Opponent's turn. When a Digimon becomes unsuspended, if this Digimon has Greymon on its name, trash top card of your opponent's security. So we can have an entire unsuspended stack, and if they have a tapped Digimon down, the moment they unsuspend one of their Digimon, already procs this off to just trash their security. Very, very nice. Up to our level 6s, we're just running just a single, the 3 Gaiomons here, 3 in each. We got the new EX4 Gaiomon here, treated as a Greymon, of course, so you can search this up with your Agumons. When Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost 13 or more. If no Digimon was deleted by this effect, you go ahead and trash top your security. So even though if you go like to attempt to delete a 13 or more, if they're able to protect it somehow, you could still trash your security. So it comes at a cost. If they really want to keep their stack alive, they're going to have to risk losing to one security that you could just go for game with this. If they just allow it to be deleted, you have to go through the extra shields they have left for you to, for them to try to win the game if you're already not going to win it. Has a nice end to turn effect. As long as you have a Tamer in play, this Digimon can Digivolve to a Gaiomon in its name with a play cost 13 or more from your hand, ignoring the Digivolution requirements and without paying the cost. So as long as you have a Tamer out, you can pass turn, go right into this, Digivolve something. There's never in the world that you're not going to get Digivolve because you're always going to have a black stack. Unless you go completely all red throughout the entire way there and not into this Gaiomon, then you won't get this. By that I mean like you have to have all red Agumon, all red Greymon, Altarius mode only, and going up to the Gaiomon here to not have black whatsoever. But 9 out of 10, you're going to have this Digivolve, but you'll definitely get the Blitz because that's all red requires. There is a combo you can do with this for a Tamer, so when we get to our Tamers, we'll talk about the combo you can do with this. But up next, I've got one of the Blitz Omni here for game. When Digivolving, you gain Blitz, you can unsuspend this Digimon. Has an all turns effect if somehow you can't just win the game outright. If the opponent's effect would delete this Digimon and return to your owner's hand or deck, you may prevent it from leading play by trashing one level 6 from its sources. It has happened one time for me, but really often than not, once I go into this, it's game over. Speaking of another game over card too, Digivolve 3 on top of Omnimon. If a Digimon with X antibodies and Digivolution source is reduced the cost by 2. This is checking for the X antibody option card. So if you have your going into Omnimon with X antibody and swinging, this is a 1 cost Evo, which is very, very nice. When Digivolving, return all your opponent's Digimon with the highest level to the bottom of their owner's deck in any order. They have 2 level 6s in the field, put them down. 2 level 5s or 3 level 5s or an army of level 3s, send them all packing. Also, another when Digivolving and when attacking effect once per turn, I place an X antibody or a level 6 card from the Digivolution sources to the bottom of your owner's deck. You get to reveal your entire opponent's security and take out the most problematic card there, and then shuffle them all back. If you get to win Digivolving here, somehow keep turn, do that, bottom deck an X antibody, then swing, bottom deck another level 6. That's 2 checks that you just literally look through there, take 2 of the most problematic cards, and you can go for game. I mean, I've been saying very, very powerful. This combo right here is, like, devastating. You know, you can swing with Omnimon, they have 1 security. The moment you say effective X antibody, they might as well just scoop it up because this is coming down. It's going to remove that last security check. Bottom deck any blocker if they have only just 1 on the field, and this is game. Up next for our Tamers, it's the rest of our Digimon. We got our Tai Kamiyas right here. As a starter in your main phase or while on play effect, one of your Digimon with Agumon and Greymon and same gains plus 1,000 in blocker for the turn. Very, very nice. It does not give Omnimon blocker, but before you go into this, of course, you can give this blocker, then go into Omnimon, it will retain blocker. However, when one of your Digimon Digivolves with Greymon or Omnimon in its name, I suspend this Tamer and gain 1 memory. Very, very nice. Up next, we got Cool Boys right here. Is actually really good running more than just 1 this time because we have a slew of like 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We got about 21 X antibody options that this Cool Boy has a target for. So that's why we're actually playing more than just 1. If you roll top 3 cards to your deck, you may add 1 Digimon with X antibody in its traits and 1 option card with X antibody in its sources. It's basically checking for this, right? It's just this little corner right here. And you can add to your hand, bottom of the rest. When one of your Digimon Digivolves into a same level Digimon with X antibody in its traits, you may suspend this Tamer and gain 1 memory. And draw a card. Combo time. So when you go into this Gaiomon for the end of the turn effect, whatever, obviously you'll gain Blitz, right? But before you use Blitz, go ahead, tap your ties, tap your Cool Boys. It's same evolution. You'll draw X cards, gain X memory here. You can actually retain your turn, swing with Gaiomon. You won't trigger Blitz because now it's back to your turn. Swing for their last checks, whatever. If you have this Omnimon or this Omnimon, well, you prefer to actually have this Blitz on because this is the only one that's going to be able to restand. So you go into this Omnimon right here, pass the turn over, restand, Blitz for game. Very nice. I actually thought about just putting in just 2 Omnimons right here because there has come a time where I lost a game where I could have the ideal combo and I just had this in hand. So you have a choice here. You can run 2 of these guys if you really don't care for that. The one I have here, I honestly may just switch it to these 2 right here, just guarantee game. But I did actually win a game where it came down to going to Omnimon here, swinging, and then going into this to win the game outright. And then lastly, Hades Force, the most busted option you can have here for any kind of Greymon deck you have. Hades Force, it does say 7 up here. You might as well just etch it out and put it for 5 because as long as you have X antibody option in one of your Digimon, it is reduced cost 2, which is very, very powerful. By being very, very powerful, if you got a 13 or more play cost Gaiomon right here, you can delete all your opponent's Digimon with and Tamers that total up add up to 13, and then you can swing it at your player. You cannot swing into Digimon, even if you have the inheritable right for this Metal Greymon right here. The option is forcing you to attack the player. I see a lot of people using this and going right into their Digimon for piercing or whatever to end the game in that certain way, whatever. It is only the player, so do keep that in mind. But that would be the deck profile for you guys. What do you guys think of this? This is probably my new Gaiomon deck. I know we're getting more Gaiomons right here. Not of this variation, of course, but there are more Gaiomons coming. From what I heard, I think it's BT 14, 15. It's one of those two sets. I could be completely wrong, but I know that there's a Gaiomon coming. I don't really actually check on sets ahead. I like to be, you know, surprised and spoiled. Or not spoiled, sorry. I like to be surprised. But yeah, this deck is just only going to get better. What if you guys want the 2 Omnimon Blitzes here? Like I said, I may go into this, but let me know your thoughts, comments below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you guys next time.